welcome to a Tyler is Groce episode. I put that one episode out, and this one I'm recording 3 months later. This is a quick little 3 months later in Austin, Texas. Got me a fucking White Claw. Just sipping, chilling on a Sunday evening. Yeah, man, it's been 3 months since I recorded this thing. Whenever I was last talking to you, I was just moving back to Texas from Europe. Now I've been here for 3 months. And man, I thought I was going to hit the ground running with this shit. I thought I was going to be like moving and grooving and zooming with all this podcasts, internet, social media shit. And it has not been that way. It has been a lot of, moving in just took a lot of effort. Starting a new job, as well as like going through it. Not even through it, but just like mentally and emotionally, just in my head going through shit. Went to Egypt. That's pretty wild. Went to Egypt like 2 weeks ago. It's been a lot of shit going on in the 3 months, so I hope you've been well. I've been all right. Moved into my own place. I got my own little spot here, which is very convenient, so I can do this shit without having to be like someone walking through like, oh, excuse me, just trying to make a grilled cheese. I had a British roommate one time, so I gave him a British accent. But I imagine any Texans wouldn't sound like that. I've just been here chilling. Doing comedy, getting back into the grind of it. And the grind, I think it's this, what I've been thinking about, like this balance between like what's real and what's imagined, what's actually happening, what's in my head. A lot of it had to do with Egypt too. So I go to Egypt. I know I got a lot of things going on. We're going to get to everything. I go to Egypt. My brother is a traveler. He's a traveling man. He lives in Europe and then he likes to travel. So he was like, dude, this summer we're going to Egypt, bro. And I was like, why are you talking like a white dude? And that's not how he talks. But he was like, yeah, look, we're going to Egypt. You want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll go. So we go to Egypt for 2 weeks. He plans the whole thing. He makes it very easy for me. And, it's like you're out there in Egypt and half of you is like you're just kind of, I don't know if you've ever traveled, but if you travel and go somewhere new, even if it's somewhere like exciting, like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to, XYZ. Like you get there and you're just kind of there. You're just kind of like, oh, it's still just me with the same thoughts and same problems and same blah, 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 but I'm just in a new place. So partially it's like anywhere you go, you're still there kind of a thing. But then also, like, we're, like, riding camels to go see the pyramids. You know what I mean? Like, we're riding camels into the desert. It's hot as fuck. There's nothing around the pyramids. There's no McDonald's. There's no 7-Eleven to, like, stop and oh, hey, let's fill up your water bottles at the cooler by the Sphinx. That's not how it is. It's just the desert and camels and horses and shit because it's a very big area. And whenever you're out there and you're like, there's no like civilization, you're just in the desert, there's pyramids, you're like, we are fucking out here in Egypt. And it was like, this real visceral experience the whole way through. The whole country is basically just one big museum. If you don't like museums, you're not going to like Egypt. Because the whole thing is just, you go see temples, you go see tombs, you go see pyramids, you go learn about ancient, the first human civilization. It's when you're there, and then you look back and you're like, fuck, I was there and I was in it. I was where like civilization started. That's the first time they learned to write. That's where they learned to write. They would just talk. How like you full of shit? Well, they were full of shit, but they had no writing, so they just passed down their shit over and over again. And then Egyptians were like, you know what? We should write this down so we know exactly what this motherfucker said so someone doesn't twist it up and twist it around. And they did it. They were, I don't know if they were the first. I think it was like Sumerians, but you know what I mean. It's the first big civilization. And you're there and you're seeing it all. which is cool. So like that's cool. Seeing there's that half of it, and then there's the other half that's like the human experience of being with these people in this country, in this poor country. It's like the richest country in Africa. And I looked it up. It's the 99th richest country in the world out of like 200 countries. So it's right in the middle. So like, I'm there kind of flipping shit over everything I'm seeing. I'm seeing like just packs of goat, like in a city. Imagine a city, and then imagine like a worse city. Cause it's Africa, and then like there's just goats and shit in the middle of the street, and then there's cows grazing in the middle of traffic, and then there's meat hung by a hook. Clearly, the cows grazing are gonna turn into that meat that they're gonna sell. It's bananas. I had like culture shock. I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. This shit is ridiculous. But so you're there and you're having these human moments with these people, and they're nice people, but they're always trying to fucking hustle you. At least we went to 4 cities in Cairo and Luxor. They're always trying to hustle you. And because I mean, it's a tourist economy. They make their money via tourism. And COVID's been happening, which I didn't even fucking consider going. I mean, like, listen, I get the Delta's coming back. We'll see what happens. But like, listen, I had COVID. I got the vaccine. I'm gonna follow the rules, but like, they let me into Egypt, so I went to Egypt, And, COVID's decimated the economy because no one's going there. So, they're struggling. So if everybody you pass by is like, hey, come into my shop, come into my bazaar, Hey, do you want to ride my horse? Just random shit. And I remember thinking like, this is what it's like to be a hot girl. This is what it's like to be a girl, just walking down the street like, hey, baby, what you need? You need something? And I was just like, no, thank you. And you feel like you can't be mean because like, they're just being nice, offering you shit. And you're like, but I really don't. No, thank you. I actually have a horse at home. He's waiting for me, so he's great. So I can't ride your horse. Sorry. Like that's how it felt. And it like being in this with these people who were like struggling, but they were cool though. It wasn't like extreme poverty or anything. It just it was just kind of like a less infrastructure city with people chilling, and just people. It just felt like people, which is interesting. You go to a foreign country, you kind of expect it to feel alien, but it doesn't feel alien. Like the squiggles are weird. Their language is like, I don't know what that is, but like you don't feel like you're on an alien planet. You just feel like you're like, oh, these are just folks. It's odd how the more places I go, the more I've been around Europe a good amount. I went to like Russia and shit, so I've been around a little bit. And like the more places you go, the more it just feels like people. The less differences. You'd think you'd be like, it's just not way different. It's just not way different, But experiencing like you're in a Muslim country, like this is it's not like the West. They have call to prayers several times a day, because they pray 5 times a day, and they just blast it on the speakers throughout the city. So everyone knows it's time to pray. Now, the whole country doesn't drop on their knees and pray, but, like, can you imagine if, every day at 5 o'clock, fucking some Christian pastor came on the TV and was like, all right, everybody, it's now time to pray. Like, that would be fucking nuts, right? But that's how it is over there. And and there's these real experiences that I'm having over there, and we went to one town called Dahab. It was this beautiful little beach town. It was kind of the least Egyptian place. There was all Egyptians there mostly, but there was like one of the meals we had was like pizza and pasta, so it wasn't like traditional Egyptian food or anything. I got this shirt there. It's a shirt with like a dog and a bow tie. I mean, it's not like traditional Egypt shit, But it was sick. And like we met this guy who's this real nice guy. And Dahab had this energy, this energy. I was there that was like everyone was just living in harmony, it felt. There were kids running around unsupervised, which you never see in America. Just unsupervised children doing whatever the fuck they wanted to, having a great time. These were like beach kids. Like they knew they were like they were born in the water. Like they were running and jumping into the water like. And I was worried because, like, you're not supposed to run by the pool. You're going to slip and fall and break something. And these kids were just running and jumping, one after the other, running and just trying to jump and then jump kick into each other in the water. You know how you break a neck? Like, they were just doing that. No supervision. No one seemed to care. They just knew it was just this. It was like how kids should be and how kids are not in America because there's fucking helicopter parents everywhere telling them to telling boys to fight beat the shit out of each other urges, You know how kids like to fight and wrestle and then teachers are like, stop it. It's like they that's what we gotta do. And you don't see that anymore unless it's like at home behind closed doors and then it's like a fucking secret or whatever. And so it was just this beautiful thing. And then, like, there were stray cats and dogs everywhere, but they were nice. They would all just run up to you and love you. It was amazing. And it just felt harmonious in this way. We met this guy and he was talking to us and he was just like, hey, yeah, Dahab's a real special place. And Dahab is on the Red Sea. So we're swimming and stuff in the Red Sea. And he's like, yeah, there's good vibes here because... And he says, I'm religious. I believe in God. And, right over there is where Moses parted the Red Sea. And I'm just like, we're in the stories. We're in the storybook land in the fucking Bible where Moses parted the Red Sea. Remember that story that was like clearly bullshit? He's like, it happened right here. Like, it's not in Narnia. It's not like, it's not like going to what's the Harry Potter land? I don't know what that place. It's not like going to Hogwarts and it's like going to Hogwarts and being like, oh, this is where the stories happened. Oh wow, is this where fucking Hagrid died or whatever? I don't know. I never read them, but like, it was wild and it was amazing. That like human experience was there. And then you come back to America, and back to what I was been like going through for the last 3 months of just like being here and being like, what is happening here? Like, why am I back in Austin? Because I left and went to Europe for a year and came back. And my original plan was to go to one of the coasts, New York, LA, something. Very shortly after, but then COVID, blah blah blah, and now we're back. Now we're here, and it's just like, what am I doing here? Like trying to tell jokes, trying to tell jokes after I saw a little kid with no shoes. He just didn't have shoes, trudging through the dirt, having a great time. Like seeing a little boy in the middle of the night riding his horse through the middle of town, and I'm just like, how do I make this dick joke about my car work a little bit better? Like it's just this weird juxtaposition, and it's making me think like, what is even happening? Like what am I doing here? Is anything what I'm doing real, or is it just projected in my mind? Does that make sense? Like you have a lot of ideas about your life and what you're doing, I've had this idea that I want to, I'm doing comedy. I'm out here doing comedy. I want to be the best at it as I can. And I want to be out here doing all this shit, doing this podcast stuff, connecting with the people. And then you go there and like really connect with these people. And I come back here and it's like, it feels more abstract and conceptual and less real, I suppose. I don't know if any of this is translating, because it's this idea that you want a career in your head, but then like, what is a career? Because I want to just tell jokes to people, but like, what does that mean? What does that look like? How is that going to be? And you have this idea in your head, and then you have reality, and then you compare the two. Listen, I can be an anxious, ruminating, neurotic guy, and it can come out, but it's kind of where I've been at. It's kind of where I've been at. So I'm not shocked at all that it's taken me 3 months to get another episode out, because you know, this shit just takes time. I want to get more consistent with it, but you know, also like even like dating, like I've had like some girl, honeys be floating around, you know how it is. And it's even like dating here in Austin. It's like I don't plan on being here forever, so there's a bit of like, why, can you even get the, everyone's looking for love, baby. I got a heart. I'm very much a sweetie boy. I like the ladies, and sometimes the ladies like me when I'm lucky. And there's even like, how do you even, can't even really pursue anything because I don't plan on being here for that long. So I feel like I've been in this in between state for a long time, and it's like, fuck, I gotta shake out of it. And I think that, I don't know, there's something about that Egypt trip that grounded me to this like real thing, this real life and culture that wasn't mine. And then I come back here and I'm sort of floating in this town that I'm used to live in and I know really well, and I have friends, but I'm also just passing through, and I don't know if any of that's making sense. I don't read the news, so I can't tell you news things. I don't know what's going on in the world, especially ever since Trump left presidency. Biden is boring as fuck, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm not watching the Olympics. I saw the Indian dude throw the javelin. I saw that swimmer girl, she swam a lot. I don't know what's happening, and I don't have any hot takes. I wish I did. I just got a White Claw in my feelings. I'm a white girl on the inside. I really am. I got a White Claw, I got my feelings, and I got a podcast where I think people want to hear about it. Maybe, I don't know if that's a white girl, but that's definitely true. Oh man, but comedy's been going. Like right before, I was fucking killing it with the comedy, with all the fucking jokes. All my sets were good, and then I take that 2 weeks off, and then now I'm like worse, not worse, but I'm like building back up, trying to like write shit and get my shit back together. It's a whole struggle. It's ridiculous. It's dude, I watched I watched that show Schmigadoon. You know Schmigadoon? I think people have been talking about it. If you don't know, you should check it out. It's a musical starring Keegan-Michael Key and Cecily Strong from SNL. And it's like this TV show musical. And I watched it. Again, this is every single white girl I know loves musicals. And I turned this shit on, and I'm like, man, what's this fucking bullshit musical motherfucking shit? And I turn it on, and I just love it. It's funny, number one. If it wasn't funny, I wouldn't be on board. It's funny. And Keegan-Michael Key's in it, and he's I feel a certain kinship to him, and he's good, and it's just a blast. And that just goes. I sit down with a White Claw and a watermelon White Claw because I'm a white girl, but I'm still black. You know what I'm saying? And no, it's a good show though. I've been watching that show. I don't know how long this has been going. I feel like I'm slowing down anyway. I feel like this has been a good amount of time for a little check-in from Old T. I'm going to try to do this more. I don't know when this is coming out. But stay tuned. Go on YouTube for my more of my videos. I don't know what you're watching this on. YouTube, I got sketches. Got this app called Rizzle I'm putting shit out on. Maybe some TikTok stuff. We'll see. Instagram, TJ Groce. Twitter, Tyler J. Groce. Patreon, Tyler is Gross. Check it all out. Yeah, it's good to be back talking about shit. Hopefully this is entertaining to somebody. Here's what I'll leave you with. Is I was listening to Tyler, the Creator. He dropped that new album, Call Me If You're Lost. And he had an interview on Hot 97 that I listened to. And this man, like, my age too. Well, he's a couple years older. And he's just talking about how, like, about how niche he was. He's just like niche. I mean, he still is niche to an extent, but he's just like niche for like 9 years of his career. And then suddenly he gets a song that pops. And he's not necessarily mainstream. He's no Dua Lipa or fucking Bieber. But like, he's more well known. He's headlining Lollapalooza. And there's lots of people that just don't know who the fuck he is. And he's talking about it. And he's just like, yeah, man, I'm in certain circles, people care about me, and in certain circles, they don't, and that's fine. And the people who like me and think I'm great are right, and the people who don't know me and think I'm nobody, they're also right. The whole thing is, it's a whole ecosystem we're living in, or whatever. And that kind of inspired me to pick this back up and do another episode, was just hearing about how the shit you put out hits with who it hits with, and it doesn't with who it don't. And that's totally fine. You can be trash to one person and great to another person. And I think I was getting caught up in wanting to be great to everybody. You know, a great man once said, I don't know the key to success, but the key to failure is trying to please everybody. It was unfortunately Bill Cosby. But, hey. Listen, it's a good quote. It's a good quote. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The man did awful things. But the quote, I think it holds up. I'm sure he said a couple of good things in his life. I'm sure Hitler told a kid one time, say please and thank you. And he's not wrong. All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna wrap up. Thank you so much, y'all. Follow me. Check. Love you. Take it easy. God bless. Bye bye.